What is going on, everybody? Happy Monday night. Happy spring. It's Chips and Dish here on the All About the Birds Network. I, of course, am your host, Chip Keggy. I'm going solo tonight because it's been a little crazy in my own world, and I didn't want to, force a guest to do all this research when I didn't even have anything prepared for them. I'm just going off the cuff tonight. Adam got that first comment in. What is up, Adam? We're going to be talking about some things tonight. There's some things happening in the Philadelphia sports world that needs some discussion. But before we do anything, I have to tell the people, it is 8:03 Monday night, and I currently am looking at the results of the All About the Birds Challenge on ESPN. And who is sitting comfortably at the top right there? My wife. My wife is in first. So if you recall, flashback about a week ago, I had my wife on the show for Chips and Misses. And we did a live bracket prediction. And if you listen to some of the reasons, yeah, she's chiming in. Yeah, we know. If you listen to some of her reasons, you sit there going, yep, makes sense. But there's no way she's going to be right. Y'all, my wife is sitting in first place in the All About the Birds bracket challenge. Now, for those of you playing the home game, there are 46 entries, I believe. I am sitting in 32nd. So once again, no matter what happens, my wife is better at making predictions on things than me. Now, of course, tried to get her to watch all the games, and she's like, no, I don't want to do all that. I just know basic pop culture references, and therefore I am better. Hi, hello. And yes, girl power. Yeah, Scott Swindell's running for school board, man, but agreed. Tila is better at picking stuff than I am. So now I will say, to my credit, yeah, there's a video recording of it now, so you're good. You have video proof that you're better at picking stuff. But let's be honest about something, though. Her national champion was Illinois. So I predict in the days to come, because Illinois got absolutely smoked. Scott, I'm all about it. I'm all about the free plugs. Illinois did get upset, and the NCAA is March Madness, right? This is not bracket busting that has been happening. This is bracket devastation. Yeah, Adam is absolutely right. There's a lot of upsets, but this is bracket devastation. I know for a fact that last week when we were sitting here talking, Oral Roberts was a big joke, right? The direct quote from my beautiful wife was, sounds like someone's nickname in high school. What it did not sound like was a team that was going to beat the number 2 Ohio State Buckeyes. Nobody predicted that. We sat here on multiple shows absolutely trashing Syracuse. They didn't even belong. They didn't belong. They're in the Sweet 16 again, right? Mike chiming in, right? The Rambler sister gene is too good. Mike and I sat here on this very computer screen and said that Syracuse was garbage. Y'all, not garbage, right? Sister Jean is too good. My wife said, don't go against a nun. Don't go against a nun. Y'all, we went against a nun. Loyola is in the Sweet 16. Currently, I'm kind of doing the double-sided thing, right? Nobody picked the Bobcats of Ohio. So not only are brackets being busted, they are being absolutely devastated. I'm looking at these finals, and I'm going, there's no way. There's no way. But it's been enjoyable, right? It has been enjoyable. Shout out to Villanova, who everybody wrote off. Myself included, and I say everybody, but the wife did not. I got to give her props again. The wife did not. But shout out to Villanova. At this point, I know that my bracket is torched. Kudos to whoever wins this thing. I just want Villanova to win the whole thing. We do need girl coach in the NFL. We need, listen, Julie, we're about to talk about some Eagles stuff because my good gracious, the Eagles are doing nothing. Nothing at all. And yes, my wife's new ringtone is going to be Tila is better. Goes to show you that on any given day it can happen. And that's why you play the game. That's why March Madness is so exciting. Because of the fact that you get one opportunity, right? We all have seen Little Giants, right? Even if you lose 99 times out of 100, that still leaves one time, right? What you're starting to see is, and I said this on the NCAA bracket reveal show, you're starting to see really good coaching develop and the balancing of these mid-conference, these mid-major schools so that an Oral Roberts and a Loyola Chicago is going up against these tough schools and really competing. So it's not so much what it was where if you're Kentucky, you're going to win. If you're North Carolina, you're going to win. It's these smaller schools are doing things. Ohio Bobcats, the only this thing that really upset me about this whole tournament was the VCU about 2 hours before their game time being told, look, your COVID being removed. That's the one thing you didn't want in this tournament, and it did happen. So you're taking a school. So up until Tuesday night, they had an opportunity to pull out. They get the results on, I want to say Friday morning, and they lost out. So, that's rough, especially because I had VCU in the Sweet 16. So that kind of kicked my butt. Cool. They went down without even playing. And then Oregon wins by, 50, 60 points. It's insane. And they beat Iowa. They were a well-rested team. So one of the biggest things about managing in this tournament is the fact that you have to load manage and realize you need to win a certain amount of games. I think you saw it a little bit with Gonzaga today. Gonzaga is far and away the favorite to win the tournament. They are my pick to win the tournament. However, what you saw is a Gonzaga team a little bit tired, struggling a little bit in their game today, overall still winning. I think these next couple of days will be important for them to win. But yeah, Oregon beating Iowa. UCLA as an 11 seed playing well. It was that play-in game. See, I thought Michigan State was going to win their play-in game against UCLA. And when Michigan State lost in overtime at 1 o'clock in the morning, I woke up before the brackets got finalized and I switched because I had Michigan State winning 2 games. I switched. I pulled my Michigan State pick. If I had just left it as the play-in winner, I'd be sitting pretty right now, maybe in 30th place instead of 32nd place. But once again, if you're just joining us, welcome. Welcome to Chips and Dish. Welcome to Chip's wife from last week. You have to watch last week's show if you haven't and listen to Tila's picks. My wonderful wife, Tila Kagi. And again, I'm putting her comment up there. Yes, I'm gonna slow it all down for a second so she can get a nice clear recording of this. Tila Kagi is better than Chip at predicting stuff. And it's all based on pop culture references. Statistics and sports and analytics don't matter. The reason why the Gauchos lost is because their mascot looked like Darkwing Duck. Take that to the bank. Matt, I did see your request to not talk about a certain Philadelphia-based hockey team. We are going to talk about a certain Philadelphia-based hockey team because I'm not pleased with what I've been watching. Adam, I do agree Baylor or Gonzaga will win. I think it's going to be a Baylor-Gonzaga final. But in 2021, all bets are off. Before we go any further, and speaking of the college transitioning into football a little bit, I want to give a shout out to the All About the Birds writers who have been attending the NCAA Pro Day Media Days and actually getting the opportunity to ask questions to some of these future players. So we had representation at the Alabama Pro Day today, and we were able to ask questions. Syracuse, representation there. Stanford. So we do have Georgia. We're talking big name schools, and we are getting media representation at the All About the Birds Network. So if something that you're interested in joining, being a writer, attending some of these pro days, dropping your knowledge, writing about pretty much anything. I mean, we had an article written over the weekend about the NCAA championships for wrestling, written by our own Adam Mack. So somebody has an expertise in a topic, wrote an article. So All About the Birds is more than just football. And that's so important for us to understand as we get into some of these other seasons. So we talked a little bit about basketball. Again, my bracket is slaughtered. Go Villanova. My wife is kicking my ass. And we're moving on. So whoever puts their comment in, and Adam, I was waiting for something, right? We know I'm not allowed to watch the games. Now, I'm going to make a very conscious decision here because the one game that I'm watching is at halftime. I'm going to actively change my channel to the Flyers game when it is 0-0. Let's see how bad this turns out. Okay. We know that Matt has a theory that when I watch Flyers games, bad things happen. I have actively changed it. We're going to see. A2D chiming in, hello. So let's talk about those Flyers. I've watched quite a few games over the last couple of weeks. I'm actually becoming an active Flyers fan again. Y'all, the Flyers are a bad hockey team right now. They are a bad somebody correct me if I'm wrong here. And again, I'm new. I'm back new to hockey. Somebody correct me if I am wrong. Are the Flyers a bad hockey team right now? Because I say yes. Right? I say the Flyers right this second have no defense, have no goaltending, and I don't know how much I can blame on Elliott. I don't know how much I can blame on Carter Hart because I look and I see turnover after turnover after turnover behind the net, right, going into their own zone, and then no defense being played. So to me, I know that they're trying to switch stuff up. Okay, so information as I just turned it on. Adam informed me Carter Hart's not even a choice in goal tonight. Lyons is the backup. Elliott seems to be doing okay. Like I said, it's the second period. I just turned it on. We're going to see what happens. But the Flyers are a bad hockey team. Yeah, Don Conaway. And listen, Don knows. Don is going for Flyers for NHL Teacher of the Month. Again, you got to vote for the guy. I will reshare the link out tonight. It takes 2 clicks. You can vote once a day. $10,000 to the school. Do that. It's bad defense. I didn't watch the 6-1 blowout. I did. The defense is horrific. And I forget the guy's name because I'm not great with the names yet outside the big players. But the one guy had like 4 turnovers. Right? Little guy chiming in. Do you agree the Flyers are a good or bad team right now? Are the Flyers good or bad right now?
Bad.
They're bad. They're terrible. All right.
Terrible.
They're terrible.
You should definitely hit subscribe.
You should hit subscribe. Spoken from the mouths of babes. That's the best looking thing on the show. Apparently on Chips and Dish, we're all about family here. The 11-year-old is upstairs playing Fortnite. So there you go. So here's the thing. There's turnovers after turnovers. The one guy I think had 3 turnovers all by himself, and each one led to a goal the other night, right? Hart is not dressed to step away for a day. They did it for Elliott for a few games. But here's the thing. After the Winter Classic, they sat Hart down for quite a few games, right? They sat Hart down for quite a few games. They let Elliott play. Then they snuck Carter Hart back in. He struggled a little bit. It led to a whole bunch of conversations and comparing the Flyers to Carson Wentz and the Eagles. And, is Carter Hart weak-minded like Carson Wentz? And they did that. They did that whole chain of events. If Carter Hart is the future of your team, okay, and this is my not informed opinion. If Carter Hart is the future of your team in a season where you are borderline on making the playoffs, then you have absolutely got to get him manageable experience. If your plan is to make a run, he's the better goalie. If your plan is to kind of be sellers at the trade deadline because you're falling pretty quickly and your coach is literally going, I don't know how to fix this. We talk about this, but I don't know how to fix this. I don't know how. When the guy who beats cancer is the only guy who gives a shit during your games, that's a problem. And he's the only one fighting, and there's no response to that. This Flyers team right now is missing fight. And again, in the comments, correct me if I'm wrong. This Flyers team to me seems like they are missing the fight that we love from the Broad Street bullies, right? Where is that team? Where is the team that knocks a guy's teeth out? You don't see it. You see turnovers. You see a lot of extra passing. You see things that we are not accustomed to from our hockey team. I like it. I like that I am not wrong, And Elliott's a good goalie. Elliott, I would argue, again, not having watched a ton of hockey, is the best backup in the league, right? Because he's the guy who you can kind of see is interchangeable right now with Carter Hart. Carter Hart's young. We can't give up on a young guy, especially who has the talent he does. He's having a bad season. He's having a bad couple of games. But you can't pin this entirely on him. It is bad goaling, terrible defense. And to me, again, not knowing some of the big names, I think Ekholm is one of the names that people are throwing around a lot. You got to trade. You got to make a trade on defense because sitting down Shane Gostisbehere isn't the answer. And I've seen that happen now a bunch of times. That doesn't seem to be the answer unless he's injured. So right now, to me, and your big name players aren't scoring. Giroux kind of not doing a great job. Voracek not doing a great. Certain players that you expect certain things. Joel Farabee is great. I'm really enjoying watching him play, but he's not supposed to be your primary option, right? Claude Giroux is supposed to be your primary option. Voracek is supposed to be your primary option. Van Riemsdyk, your primary options. Konecny is not living up to I agree. So you're seeing players not doing what they're supposed to do. And here we go, right? Kelly chiming in. What's up, Kelly? We have no Hart or Carter Hart, right? I have no idea what's happening, everybody. Hart needs to step to get his head back in the game. Drew needs to step back up as captain. Yeah, this is a team that kind of needs that fire lit. And when I watched Oscar do what he did the other night, I went, oh my God. There it is. This is the moment where it all starts to come together, where it all starts to blend, and it didn't happen. It didn't happen. It's very frustrating as a fan to see this team not fight. And again, I am actively watching because I turned it on when Adam told me it was 0-0, and currently it is still 0-0. So Matt, it is no matter what happens. It's not my fault because it's been at least 10 minutes with no score. Yeah. How are you going to have it? So what you may not know about me, and I feel like I've shared this before, but you may not know this, is I am a former high school and collegiate mascot, right? So I was a mascot in high school. I was a mascot in college. I have a special love for Gritty. When Gritty is the most exciting part of your franchise, there's a problem. And I love Gritty. But you look at the Philadelphia Eagles, the most exciting part of the Eagles is not Swoop. The most exciting part about the Philadelphia Phillies is not the Philly Fanatic. It is Bryce Harper. It is, some sort of pitching. It's JT Realmuto. And the Philly Fanatic's a nice touch. Gritty is the most exciting part about the Flyers. That's a problem. Hold up. There you go. What's up? I missed it because I was going on a gritty mascot rant, but apparently Flyers put one in the net. I didn't see it. Got to tell me who it is, though, because I missed it. Used to be the team. There you go. See, Mike, you get me. You get me. And yes, it's both of our faults. We discussed this, but it's really mostly Matt's fault, not mine. Coaching is a problem, too. So, again, somebody clue me in here. I'm streaming as well, but I'm streaming on one of these Jimmy Johns. Clue me in here. Is the coach, AV, is he a problem? Is he a good coach? What do we like about? Is he somebody that the Flyers can go, this is the coach of the future? Right? See, there you go. I spoke it into existence. I spoke it into existence to the people. Okay. Has a good resume. Going into it was the most important person for the job. Now, here's my question, because Doc Rivers has a very good resume and he is playing to the strengths of his players. Nick Sirianni has almost no resume and we don't know what he's got in front of him. Joe Girardi, great resume, not a great last season, hopefully going to be this season. So AV, you mentioned, has a good resume. Is he the right coach for this team? Is he somebody who can bring out the best in goalies? Is he somebody who can attack on offense? Because this is the frustrating part for me. And Matt and I, we have a special Twitter love when it comes to our Flyers conversation. I watch the Flyers pass and pass and pass and pass and not shoot. So there are power plays where they get 1, 2 shots off maximum. That's not okay. You look at teams that outshoot us over and over again. How many coaches does Giroux need, though, to be good? So Giroux, as one of the elites in the league, should just be good. Absolutely. But when your coach says, I don't know how to fix this, yeah, I kind of go, whoa. Because I'm a teacher, right? I'm a teacher. I'm a middle school coach. I would never tell my students, my players, hey, I don't know how to fix you guys. You just come up with the next thing. Right? Fundamentally a good coach, but I don't think he has the leadership we need. And right now, this team is missing leadership. This team is missing that fiery guy. Adam, they pass the puck way too damn much. Way too damn much. It is infuriating. I cannot stand watching them just pass and pass and pass and wait for opportunities when other teams just shoot. Here's the thing. If you watch a lot of hockey, one thing that I have noticed is if you just flick it at the net, sometimes cool shit happens. If you never, what did Michael Scott say that Michael Jordan said, right? You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take, or Wayne Gretzky said it. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. The Flyers don't take enough shots. Right? The Flyers don't take enough shots. And again, special credit to Wayne Gretzky and Michael Scott. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So the Flyers right now are missing way too many shots simply because they're not taking them. Now, let's transition because we got more sports to talk about. Speaking of shots, I would like to play for you fine folks an image from a Sixers game, right? This is a shot from a Sixers game against the New York Knickerbockers. And this shot happened in the fourth quarter as time was winding down. So to set the scene for you, the Flyers are up by 3. Julius Randle gets the ball in the corner. And he takes a shot. The referees decide to not call a foul. So let me tell you what. I don't want to say much more. I don't want to give it away. So I'm going to share this to the people, and you tell me if a call was missed here.
Randall in the corner. Harris all over him. Randall step back 3, puts it up. Shot. It's good. It's good. Randall in the corner.
One more time.
Harris all over him. Randall step back 3, puts it up. Shot. It's good. It's good. Randall.
This was not called as a push-off. I'm going to try and pause
in the
it.
corner. Harris all.
Okay. This was not called as a push-off. Y'all, his arm is clearly extended. This shot forced overtime. Now, Sixers ultimately, do what they need to do. But the one thing that I think needs to be discussed with, here we go. I'm a high school official. Shout out here, Adam Mack, right? I'm a high school official. Should have been an offensive foul. But the refs, well, his angel for sure was poor, but his angle was even worse. Definitely a push-off. Weak calls at that point in the game, unfortunately. It would be a weak call at that point in the game. I get that. But his arm is clearly extended, right? Clearly extended. Definitely a push-off. So here's what I have to ask, right? Because I'm seeing more and more terrible officiating. And the coach of the Raptors actually just got fined pretty significantly for it because I'm pretty sure he lost a game to the Jazz, who always complain about officiating, after the Jazz shoot 41 free throws in a game compared to the Raptors' 14. Is there a chronic officiating problem in the NBA? So again, we look at the Jazz, who right before the break complained about officiating. We look at calls like this. Basketball refs are awful, and there's 3 of them, and they have to watch a total of 10 players, right? That doesn't seem like a whole lot. You got to hustle. So something else you might not know about me. I will let you know that one of my many side jobs is I am a baseball umpire. I'm one of the good ones. I am in 6 years, I've never ejected anybody. I'll let you know the first time it happens, and I'll tell you the story about it. I've gotten close. But I can tell you as an umpire for baseball, and there's a lot of times when I do a game, it's a solo game. It's one person game. So that's very intense because I am the entire rule decider. But I can tell you, if I hustle, if I get to where a play is happening, if I am running down the line, if I'm doing what I need to do, I get less arguments from coaches. Adam, pretty tight, actually, and depending on the age. It opens up as the night goes on, but I call high rather than calling low, and I tell the kids exactly where I call it. NBA 2-minute report said there was a correct no call. So the NBA said that was cool. Are you kidding me? So again, I go back to my original question here. Is there an NBA officiating pandemic? And I'm using that word. That word means a different thing now. Is there a officiating pandemic, and how does it get fixed? How does it get fixed? Because you look at a player like LeBron James. LeBron James can do whatever he wants. You look at a player even like Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid can do whatever he wants. You look at some of these younger guys who haven't earned their stripes yet. They don't get away with anything. So it's the nature of the game. We know that. It's human error. We know that. But it turns into a problem. Now, moving on, the Sixers not having Joel Embiid for the last couple of weeks, everybody panicked, right? They wrote them off. They're going to be 2 and whatever. They're not going to win anything. They're not going to do what they need to do. This Sixers team has responded pretty well. The other night, they didn't have Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Joel Embiid. Who played his ass off? I'll wait, because he's not an all-star, apparently, according to the fans, the players, the coaches. Who is the absolute stud of this team? Phil, if you're watching, I cannot wait for you to comment in, because he's your boy, and you have stood in his corner since day one. Ladies and gentlemen, Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris, ladies and gentlemen, in my opinion, right now, should be starting to get some of this talk for NBA MVP. Because you know what, at this point, let's just talk about everybody, right? The big 2. Joel Embiid, hurt. I think this injury removes him from the MVP consideration. He's missed a lot of games before the injury. The injury takes him out even more. If we win a championship, I'm cool. Does this injury to LeBron James remove him? Right? And Adam, I agree. NBA champion does sound a hell of a lot better, in my opinion, as well. I don't need the all-star accolades, the MVPs, the defensive players of the year, the coach of the year. We should be winning all of that. But if they win a championship, that's what's up. Should LeBron James still be the front runner for the MVP? Because if he's going to miss an extended period of time and the Lakers fall off, then you know that this team was built around him, which it was. If they maintain without Anthony Davis, without LeBron James, then he's not the most valuable player. They are still a successful team. You see Nikolai Vucevic, or not Nikolai, what the dude out of Denver, the 47-foot tall guy whose name I always forget. He was in third place, and now they're like, oh, he's Jokic Nokic, or whatever guy's name is. I can't pronounce European names. Luka, yeah, Jokic. Sure, Jokic. Shout out to Rich. What's up? Sure, yeah, Jokic. All of these players are now being removed one by one. Jokic is the front runner for MVP. Giannis is playing great. He's not having an MVP season. Now, he played well against a Sixers team, missing their MVP candidate, and he sits on the court. My favorite sign that I know Dwight Howard is settling in nicely into Philadelphia, I wanted to hit him with a stone cold stunner. Yo, you get it. You get it, what it means to be here. And that's when we flash back to the beginning of our conversation where we were talking about how the Flyers are missing that spark. Who's saying that we're going to go, stone cold stunner somebody on center ice? Nobody. But our backup center for the Sixers. And in my the sportscaster's humble opinion, the front runner for sixth man of the year. Somebody tell me if I'm wrong. Who deserves sixth man of the year better than Dwight Howard right now? I'll wait for a name because I can't think of even one. Dwight Howard is starting more games than he was expecting to, backing up Tony Bradley, who's been very nice. I'm enjoying watching some Tony Bradley, but getting almost a double-double every night. Big fan of the resurgence of Dwight Howard. In fact, that the kid can still play. I just wanted to, sneak it in and compare it. Sorry, Matt, just kind of snuck it in on there. But Tobias Harris is single-handedly carrying this team, this Sixers team. Tobias Harris is single-handedly carrying this team to still being in contention for first place. And you're seeing the Nets loading up. Blake Griffin's on a minute restriction, but he's still on the team. You look at, the Bucks, and the Bucks are a really good team right now, but they haven't beaten. And so this is my question, Matt, and I'm so glad you brought it up. What, if any, needs to happen so that this Sixers team reaches the NBA Finals this season? Because let's be very honest, we would have to break the bank for Lowry. I would love him on the team, but that also pulls the ball out of Ben Simmons' hands. Ben Simmons, the only thing he can really do is play point guard. And he's not even that good, but he's got to distribute the ball. So then you look at a guy like Zach LaVine, more bank breaking. Lauri Markkanen, again, a great move. And that's the move to me that I think would suit them the best. Don, I love Victor Oladipo. I'm a huge fan of the guy. I don't think we need another guard. And that's the other reason why I personally am against the Zach. And I'm a huge Zach LaVine fan, but I don't think he's the best fit. I don't think Lowry is the best fit. And Adam, it's like, Adam, I'm bringing you on one of these times. I'm telling you, because you're right there with me. Trading for a power forward, moving Tobias to small forward. We need a stretch four who, once Embiid can come back, can still play valuable minutes, because I want Joel Embiid on a minutes restriction. I want Dwight Howard playing minutes, but I want Dwight Howard on a minutes restriction. Darn tootin'. So for me, I look at a guy like Lauri Markkanen. I think that trade is a fantastic piece. And I know there is some buzz going around of moving toward a guy like Lauri Markkanen, because great shooter, great ball handler, good rebounder, good defense. That's what we need. This team, and you've seen it with someone like Danny Green. Danny Green is playing really well right now. And that's another guy the Sixers fans wanted to just give up on Danny Green. Oh, he's terrible. He's a streaky shooter, but when he's on, he's on. Which ties me into one of the biggest points of the night for me. Philadelphia. Listen, let's get real close for a second. I'm going to give you guys the close up. Y'all, we got to calm down. Philadelphia. Yo, we got to calm down. We are so quick as sports fans to just throw a guy away, right? Give up on a player. This guy's the worst. Cut him. Trade him. You know, it's awful. We have to let players develop. We have to let players develop. Now, after a couple of seasons with no development, give up on the guy. You know, I'm going to say something kind of ridiculous here. Y'all bear with me. Again, we're getting close. I am curious to see what a player like J.J. Arcega-Whiteside can do with a new developmentally focused coaching regime. Last season, I wanted to give up on the guy. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, I wanted to give up on the guy because he was trash. He was garbage. With that coaching staff. A coaching staff that didn't value developing a player. He was never going to develop into a player. Now you've got a coaching staff who values quality play out of their wide receiver, we think. So let's see what J.J. Arcega-Whiteside does. Now, if he chokes this year in this system, get him out of the NFL. He's not a quality player. But let's see what he can do. Don, I love this idea. I love LaMarcus Aldridge because, again, guy's slightly older, towards the end of a career, playing on a Spurs team that might make the playoffs, might not, but won't go anywhere in the West for sure. Yeah, that's the kind of player I like. Again, shooter, can post play, can rebound, good defense. This is the kind of move I don't want the big flashy names if it's not the right fit. I love Lowry. I don't think he's the right fit. I love Levine. I don't think he's the right fit. You need to bring in a player who, at this point, knows their role in the system of a Joel Embiid centered team. When Joel Embiid isn't the center of the team, it moves to Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris. You have to bring in a player that knows their role. That's really important moving forward. Don't just bring in a guy to break the bank. Yes, we are maybe one or two moves away, but Maxi's a player of the future. I want to try and hold on to him. Everybody who was, saying, oh, trade Matisse Thybulle. Y'all, he's in competition, in my opinion, for Defensive Player of the Year. And now he's adding a jump shot. That's a clutch bench player. You don't get rid of a Matisse Thybulle. Stop giving up on players so quickly. Let them work. So at the beginning of the season, Matisse Thybulle could not crack into Doc Rivers' rotation. Okay. Give him some time. Let him work with a coaching staff that says, we want to see this, this, and this. And then see if you can do it. Stop giving up on players. We just witnessed that with a player like Carson Wentz. And here's how I'm going to transition into football. And yes, this Sixers team can win a championship this year, 100%. I don't know what moves need to happen, but I do like the idea more of a Lauri Markkanen, LaMarcus Aldridge, rather than another guard. That's just what I think. So tying into the football aspect of things, because this is all about the Birds, we do talk football here. We just saw Philadelphia give up on a guy who was a pretty damn good quarterback. Now, Carson Wentz, he didn't want to be here. He did not want to be here. We all saw the interviews. He said that when he was sat during Green Bay, he realized that might be it. Yeah, because everything leading to me. So I know I just told everybody to calm down. I leaned in all close and I said, listen, let's calm down. Y'all, I'm about to get real heated again. So hold up. I'm pulling a classic Rich move here. I just turned the hat so you know what's up. Let me tell you something. Carson Wentz not taking accountability for his dog shit half of the season that led to the Green Bay benching. So the way he made it seem was that he played during Green Bay, he got benched, and oh my God, I could not see this coming. This is how dare they do. You had a terrible season the whole time. And yes, the coaching was bad. So they threw away the coaches. You didn't want to give the new coaches a chance? No, this is beyond repair. I'm not going to talk to anybody. Carson Wentz will find success in Indianapolis for one very simple reason, and I have said this on this network. And after this, I'm done talking about Carson Wentz because we have other Eagles stuff to talk about. Carson Wentz is not mentally tough enough for this city. If you are going to play quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles, you cannot be soft. You're from North Dakota State where there's like 17 people and you're the best of the 17. Cool. You're a big fish in a small pond. Congratulations. Oh, you set records at North Dakota State. Not a Division I school. You weren't playing Alabamas. You weren't playing Floridas. You weren't playing Florida States. You weren't playing Georgias. You were in North Dakota State and you set records. Cool. You come to Philadelphia. You have some MVP type success and everybody loves you. But as soon as it gets hard, you can't sack up and do what you need to do. Instead, you go all armadillo, quiet possum. Stop it. Stop it. And then now you're posting photos. Now you're posting workout videos. Cool for you. Indianapolis is lucky to have you. You are a hell of a guy. You are a hell of a guy. And all the stuff that happened on social media with Giovanni, don't come at a kid for wearing his Idol's jersey. Let me just say that right the hell now. That was some of the most garbage crap I have ever seen in my entire life. Don't you dare. Philadelphia, y'all need to cool out. That is a kid. He was wearing a jersey. Hell, he was actually breaking big news by wearing the fact that it was a number 2 and that news wasn't out yet. You guys need to chill the hell out. And I know the people watching this show aren't that people, but since this goes back and rewind, shout out to Giovanni. Shout out to his anti-bullying campaign. Anything we can do to help with y'all about the Birds Network, you let us know. Lance checking in. First off, that's a sick eagle. Big fan of your logo. But you're in the SEC country. Go Vols. So, Lance, let me ask you a question, right? You have a guy like Carson Wentz playing for the Tennessee Volunteers. And he pulls that stunt after losing a shit game to whoever you have in the SEC as your biggest rival. He goes down to the Swamp and puts up a dud. He goes down to the Georgia Dome and puts up a dud. And he then goes, oh, well, I didn't know they were going to pull me. Does that Carson Wentz, who's now starting for Tennessee, again, in my scenario, does he play another game as a Volunteer? And I'm asking Lance here because Lance just chimed in. First-time commenter, what's up, what's up? It is, right? It's tough to come from the Midwest to the Northeast. It is a different environment here. It is different. We expect a lot. And I look at a guy right now like Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is doing the right thing. He's posting his workout videos. He is posting his workout photos. That hat is turned forward. He is ready to go. You know what I mean? There is so much noise around him. Tons of noise around him. The Eagles are going to draft a quarterback at 6. Yo, that would be stupid. That would be stupid. If the Eagles draft a quarterback at 6, that would be stupid, right? I've seen so many good takes about this. Listen, my friends, this is going to be a bad Eagles team. They are a bad football team. They are bad because of the cap. They are bad because some of their better players are moving on contract-wise. They are a bad team because they're aging. This is a bad football team. Why not see if Jalen Hurts can do something with it? It is literally this season a zero risk, 100% reward. If he does fantastic, and Don, I'm pretty sure I saw you post this as well, and I agreed with your point, your take 100%. You have one of two things that's going to happen here. If he sucks, if Jalen Hurts is terrible, okay, you know that he's terrible. You move on. And you have a high enough draft pick next season where, cool. Right now, we're seeing what always happens is all of the quarterbacks outside of Trevor Lawrence are getting hyped up. You know, we've got quarterbacks out of Ohio State. Okay, when was the last good quarterback to come out of Ohio State? We've got quarterbacks coming out of BYU. I know Steve Young was pretty damn good, but besides that, what about, another North Dakota State quarterback? Stop it. All these other quarterbacks are being hyped up. The Eagles should not take a quarterback at 6. Lance, with the answer to my question, right? And I asked Lance a couple minutes ago, if Carson Wentz was the starting quarterback in the SEC and puts up a dud against a big-time school, and then he goes, oh, well, I didn't know why I got benched. Here you go. The SEC is a big world and very competitive. He wouldn't last. He would be out after the second season. He'd be out after the second half of that crap. So, but because he comes from North Dakota State and he's big fish in a small pond, when you plunk him into a big pond, he struggles and he doesn't have the internal fortitude to come back from it. I wish Carson Wentz success. He's in the AFC, so the only place where I'd really need to root against him is the Super Bowl. But the fact of the matter is, I don't need it. If he doesn't want to be here, I don't need him here. It's that simple. I don't need him here. The Eagles screwed up, ran him out of town, and Matt agrees. Perfect, Lance, and I agree. Perfect comment, because that was my point. Yeah, if the Eagles take a quarterback at 6, I am starting a ride at the NovaCare Center. And who's going to stop me? Not the lineman they just drafted to block us out. Not the wide receiver who would be able to receive all the love and adoration. Not the tight end, Kyle Pitts, who y'all, again, I'm getting up and close. Y'all, I like Kyle Pitts. I like him a lot. Kyle Pitts is a stud. What did he run today? A 4.46 40? A 4.46 40, I believe, was the numbers. Can be some crazy wide receiver type numbers. I am okay with Kyle Pitts. I think that is a win. I still think the Eagles are going to trade down for capital, but I like Kyle Pitts a lot. If he's available, that's the pick. You look at somebody like Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts right now is going against he's playing for a bad team. If he somehow wills them to win, there's your answer. Oh my God, you have him cheap for the next 4 years. Yes, you'll have to re-sign him and up him. But if it works, great. And if it doesn't, great. You are in a perfect rebuild mentality right now. Perfect rebuild mentality right now. Do something with it. Do not just go, we are a quarterback factory here in Philadelphia. I swear. Now, one of my peoples is Dan Orlovsky. Here is a 2-minute clip just because Chips and Dish here is going solo tonight. And y'all, I'm a little winded. I got to take a drink of the water. So here's Dan Orlovsky for 2 minutes. Check this out. This is important. This is talking about Jalen Hurts.
Do you think the Eagles should draft a quarterback should one of the big ones drop to them at number 6?
Absolutely not. Them taking a quarterback at 6 would be as dumb as them alienating Carson Wentz many years ago.
Victory sip.
Greeny, this is a bad football team. It's a bad roster. play Jalen Hurts. If Jalen Hurts plays well, great, you've got your answer. You've now found your quarterback. If Jalen Hurts struggles, great, you've got your answer. You've got to go find a quarterback. And if he struggles, you're likely going to have a very early pick in next year's draft. What is better in the NFL than having a really good young quarterback that over the next couple of years is going to cost you $5 million? Absolutely nothing. So figure out what Jalen Hurts is. Like people tell me we don't know what Sam Darnold is. He's 3 years into the NFL. Jalen Hurts has played 4 games. You want to tell me anyone knows who or what Jalen Hurts is? Let him play this season and see what he has. Because if he plays well, you've got your guy for the future. And if he plays bad, you've got your answer for the future, an early draft pick.
That's all I'm going to say. Look, actually, wait, I'll let him go. He's got more to say.
I get it. And before I let everyone else jump on you here, let me just throw at you. If Justin Fields falls there, no matter what, okay.
Dude, Jalen Hurts is going to cost you $5 million over the next 4 years.
Right.
The absolute best thing that could happen to the Philadelphia Eagles is he plays next year. And again, I want to continue to remind people, this is a bad football team. In the midst of a bad roster, he plays well. You've got a 3-year window with a super cheap quarterback to rebuild your roster and potentially make another run. No one can tell me they had any idea what Jalen Hurts is. No, he played 4 games with a bad football team, and he should have been 2-2.
Yep.
Shoot, he should have been 3-1. He's a Hail Mary against Arizona from winning that game. And the only reason they lose, or the likely reason they lose week 17, is because they took him off the field to secure the 6th pick. You didn't secure the 6th pick to take another quarterback. Graz, eventually you have to take other positions. You can't just continue to go.
There it is.
You just want to continue to have many options at the quarterback position. There's 52 other guys on the football team.
And there it is. That's the biggest point that I want to share right now. There are 52 other guys on the football team. And agree. I don't care about workout videos. Go out, play well. We are good. Jalen Hurts, you want to talk. One of the biggest things that we got to talk about is that mental fortitude, right? Jalen Hurts lost his job during a national championship game. How did he respond? He went to another big name school and almost won the damn Heisman Trophy. Jalen Hurts has that Philly toughness. He is shutting down all the noise around him and going out. Now, if he goes out and does well, awesome. I'm all about Jalen Hurts. If he goes out and sucks, you know what? We're a bad football team with a first-year coach who's never coached before. Give him a chance. Philly, you got to stop. You got to stop. And now, what's the conversation that's been had over the past couple days, right? Oh, well, let's bring in, Adoree Jackson. Y'all, he just signed with the Giants for $39 million. Eagles don't got no $39 million. Who did we sign? Anthony Harris. A very good safety in this league. Not great, not lights out, not a long-term deal, but a good player who's going to help this season. They're making strategic moves to get through this season. Now, and yeah, Adam, I saw this comment. Sam Bradford, Tim Tebow, Mark Sanchez, best quarterback factory in NFL history. Right now, I think we're at the 3 million. I think the last number I saw was 3.3 million in cap space. Yeah, the team likes him. The team likes him. So what is the worst move? And I'm not saying the worst move for Jalen Hurts, because I think Jalen Hurts is a very tough young man, and he won't struggle when certain people come here. What is the worst move for the fan base that the Philadelphia Eagles could do for the backup quarterback scenario? The worst move. One name. Listen, I love Nick Foles. I will never forget him giving a Super Bowl to the city of Philadelphia. Nick Foles should never, ever be a Philadelphia Eagle again until it is time to retire his jersey and hang it as the only Super Bowl winner when he does go. That's it. When you add his name to the Ring of Honor, that's when he comes back. However, what is there talk of nonstop right now? What is there talk of nonstop right now? That's right. You guessed it. Should Nick Foles return to the Philadelphia Eagles? So much so, here's your video.
Chicago, the Bears have now turned to Andy Dalton as their starter. So what does that now mean for the backup plan? Who is Nick Foles?
Well, Nicole, I wouldn't take a Nick Foles Philadelphia reunion off the table right now, because a few weeks ago, when Chicago was looking to get Carson Wentz, they included Nick Foles in a potential package to Philadelphia. Now, Wentz ultimately went to Indianapolis, but those talks had been ongoing. They're in place. All they would have to do this week is revive them. Philadelphia is looking for a high-level backup, somebody to come in and support Jalen Hurts. Meanwhile, Chicago is just looking to dump some salary right now. They're in some cap problems. Nick Foles carries a 6.6 cap hit that they could get off their books.
6.6. Yeah, that sounds about right.
I think he'll be traded. Philadelphia is an option for him.
Okay. That's it. That's the whole comment. That's the whole comment. No. I love Nick Foles. I do. I will always be appreciative of it. He won us a Super Bowl. Yeah, hopefully it's not the only one, but by the time he's ready to retire, I do think it could be. But here's what our biggest focus should be right now. I'm going to read off some names, and these are the wide receivers that the Philadelphia Eagles have to play 2 times a year in our division right now. Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb. Those are all Dallas Cowboys. Kenny Golladay, Sterling Shepard, Darius Slayton, Terry McLaurin, Curtis Samuel. All these other teams in the NFC East are stacking up at wide receiver. And who are we rolling out with? Who are we rolling out with this week? In week 1 right now? Jalen Reagor, Travis Fulgham, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, Hightower. Yeah, we need to be able to cover these guys. As Dan Orlovsky said, there's 52 other positions on this team. You got to stop with the quarterbacks. Yes, I like the idea of Joe Flacco. Again, somebody with proven experience and not a goddamn statue outside. Yo, speak it into existence, my friend. Speak it into existence. Let him not go to number 4. Let him not go to the Atlanta Falcons. Let him fall to number 6. To the Philadelphia Eagles. Let us not have traded the pick away so that we may get Kyle Pitts on the team. Speak it into existence. We need to stop with the Nick Foles statue. You know it, right? Joe Flacco doesn't have a statue. We need secondary help. We need wide receiver help. When we eventually trade Zach Ertz, which I don't think we should. He is a good number 2 tight end option right now. I don't think we should trade Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz wants to go, and rightfully so. He struggled. He wants to go back and play with his buddy, Carson Wentz. Cool. Do your thing. He might end up in Buffalo with that team loaded. All these other teams are making moves. The Eagles put themselves in a shitty situation. I'm not as sold on Jamar Chase. Again, everything in Chase, Waddle, Devontae Smith, Kyle Pitts, they're all upgrades to our receiving core right now. And wait, y'all, can we just slightly pull away from the Eagles for a second? Did anybody else absolutely find amazement in what the Rams paid Deshaun Jackson? Anybody else? He played 4 games last year. Dude just signed a 3-year contract for some serious money. Dude is ripping off the Rams, and I am here for it. I don't have the exact numbers. Hold up, because I can look it up. Deshaun Jackson contract. Go into the good old Google. What is the official numbers? I don't know. Somebody give me the numbers. I can't find it right now. I'm actually still talking to the camera. It's a huge number. It is a huge number. But it's too much. I know that much. Fact of the matter is, they give him a 3-year deal. I don't even give a shit about the money. They gave him a 3-year deal. He can't play 5 games. Now, of course, next season he'll have a, an obnoxious, crazy 2,000-yard receiving season. He'll open things up for, Cup, and he'll open things up for he's got Stafford throwing the ball now. He's in position to succeed. The Eagles need a backup quarterback. It cannot be Nick Foles. If it's Nick Foles, I'm riding. If they draft a quarterback at 6, I'm riding. It cannot be the same mistakes. It's a new regime. It can't be the same old mistakes, even though it's Howie. And I don't want Deshaun Jackson. He's not worth it. I don't want Deshaun Jackson. He was a good cut. A good cut. But the fact that some team still values him, oh my God. All right. Listen, I looked over for a second. That was the problem. Matt, don't look at your screen for the next 30 seconds. You know what I'm saying? Don't look at your screen. And not this screen. You can keep looking at my handsome face. I'm saying don't look at your flyers. Don, you weren't supposed to put it in the comment section. Matt's going to cry. Final thought. And I have been avoiding this conversation on the air because I don't like to get too controversial on this show. We got to talk Phillies. We got to talk the center field position. The way I see it, it's a 3-man race. And I say that not saying that there's 3 qualified players. I'm saying that there's 3 players who could do the job, maybe. Option 1 is Scott Kingery. There is some talk about Scott Kingery starting the season in not in center field, starting the season in AAA. Okay. I can see that. Scott Kingery, I like having on the major league roster, but I don't think he is better than the 2 options we have. So, Scott Kingery is choice number 1. Let me put this comment out. There it is. Your other 2 choices are Mickey Moniak, as Don is saying, right? Look impressive enough to at least be considered for the center field position. And I agree. I like Mickey Moniak. I think if he is, you saw some success with Alec Baum. Okay. My friends, I am saying it here. I am saying it at 9:02 on Monday night. Guys, the starting center fielder on opening day will be Odubel Herrera. I am in no way saying that him as a human, I think that he is an absolute garbage human for what he did. And he got punished severely. If you are looking at it as a strictly baseball-related move, he is your best option at center field. So think about many, many, many years ago when Michael Vick was signed to be the quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles. And we are boycotting and we will never go to another Eagles game and forget Michael Vick. And he did this awful thing. And he did. He did a terrible thing. He did a terrible thing. Michael Vick did. And then he started winning games. And everybody loved Michael Vick. Now, there were still some people who were like, he abused dogs. And I get that. Odubel Herrera fucked up royally. And he is a despicable human for it. However, we got to give people second chances. So take your own personal feelings out of it for a second and look at it from the locker room. If the studs of your team, if the stars of your team, if Bryce Harper can play with him, if JT Realmuto can play with him, if Didi Gregorius can play with him, if Aaron Nola can play with him, then me sitting in my living room by my fireplace, which is real, just saying it is real, who am I to say he can't play on this team? You have to look at it very simply, very, very simply. Odubel Herrera right now is the best center fielder that the Phillies have on the roster. He has done what he is needed to do to win the center field job for the Philadelphia Phillies in 2021. Now, Am I inviting him to a birthday party? Absolutely not. Am I letting him do pretty much anything of a public relations nature? No, I am not. But am I letting him go out to center field, catch fly balls because he's the fastest person on the team? Absolutely. Am I letting him hit, lead off? Am I letting him hit it in the 7th or 8th spot and turning the lineup over? Yes, I can. I can deal with that. I know some people cannot, and I respect them for it. These are fathers of daughters, and I agree. I am not saying for a second that I like him as a human. And Kelly, I know this is not a good take. If we're looking at baseball only, he is the best center fielder we have on the roster. Now, personal preference, Mickey Moniak is your starting center fielder, but he might not be ready. If you let him play all of spring training, and you're going to catch shit for it, don't get me wrong. If you make him the starting center fielder, the Philadelphia Phillies organization is going to catch shit for it. You're going to have a PR nightmare, just like the Philadelphia Eagles did with Michael Vick. But here's the thing. The Phillies start to win. Adam, I'm not even putting that up. I'll put it up. I'll let the people handle you. Roman Quinn. Y'all, he couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat. No, sir. Great bench player, pinch runner. Love him on the base path. Hate him at the plate. And this is what it comes down to. Stats-wise, he's the best choice. He is a PR nightmare in April. Come September, when the Philadelphia Phillies are competing for a pennant, everybody looks past it. See, that's the thing about Philadelphia, and this is where I'll wrap it up, my friends. That's the thing that makes Philadelphia so amazing. And Adam, I agree with this, right? Philadelphia gives people second chances. That's the thing that makes Philadelphia so amazing. We are passionate. We love our people. We love them fiercely. That's why Carson Wentz didn't work out, because when you don't put out the effort that we need from you, we're going to give you shit. But when you do what we need from you, we're going to love you tremendously. All we ask is that you try. Odubel Herrera is a garbage human, and he's got a long way to come back. But it's not our place as the fans to judge him if the players in the locker room can look past it. Odubel Herrera is the best option at center field as of right now. Yes, I know Santa. We threw batteries and snowballs and all these things at Santa, but he was wearing a Cowboys hat. Screw him. Right. Baseball created the rules. We have no choice. It's a major league PR nightmare, but that's what it was. We made him sit the season. He served his crime. We're moving on. And yeah, Vic took some punishment, but then he rehabbed his career. And what is he now? He's on sports networks talking about football. He rehabbed his career. That's what it comes down to. If you are willing to say, I made a mistake and grow from it, then as a man, I am willing to accept you. Now, if you make the same mistake again, that's a different conversation. My friends, I got to tell you, it has been a lot of fun this fine evening. And again, I understand that normally I have a fantastic guest or two with me. Today, the past couple of days have been a little bit crazy, so I went solo. But for the last hour and 8 minutes, I got to appreciate all of the incredible comments coming in, the conversation that we had, even if it was just through the comment box. So let me just pay some bills real quick, right? This has been Chips and Dish. We do this every single Monday night. I am so appreciative of the following, of the friendships that we're building through the social medias and all that stuff. Make sure you click subscribe if you're watching it on the YouTube. You can like all the social media pages, All About the Birds on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. On the All About the Birds shop, this is big, right? We got some really cool stuff, a lot of cool designs. So for example, we got these, nobody likes us. We do care. We got some new designs in the shop. All of our shows are represented there starting probably in the next couple of days. I think I'm getting my own shipment of my face. So I'm excited to see that. Tonight has been Chips and Dish. This is every Monday night. Tuesdays is Fairway to Heaven, which is Phil's fantasy and gambling golf show. I don't understand a word of it, but I know good podcasting. So you got to check that out. Wednesdays is the flagship show, our All About the Birds weekly report on the Eagles. We hopefully might have a free agent to talk about. Maybe two. I don't know. Friday nights is Birds, Beers, and BS, the YouTube exclusive. So you got to check that out. It's our #1 YouTube show. And Saturday night is our draft show, which draft season is about a month away. Some cool things are happening. I'm going to share the link again to vote for Don Conaway for teacher of the Flyers. He's our Flyers representative, but the NHL teacher of the month. That's for $10,000 towards the school. So I'll make sure to share the link on that. Adam, I appreciate you. Lance, love the stuff that you were adding tonight. Go Volunteers. I appreciate you. Matt, Flyers, man. Flyers. Come on. 10 minutes left in this game. I'm watching with you. 99 Jersey sponsors us. So I got to share this bill real quick. Hold on. Let me just find the right clicker. I got to go here. 99 Jerseys partnering with All About the Birds. Use the code AATBirds for 20% off discount at checkout. They get some really cool stuff. I got to start wearing it again on camera. And as always, we end every show the exact same way with a very simple go Birds. But because this is chips and dish, and you didn't see me having any tonight, trying to, cut for the cutting season, but we're out of beer, so we're out of here. See you guys next time.